Namaskar, dear viewers. I welcome all of you to this presentation on NGOs as sources of information. Viewers, as we know in the previous presentations, we talked about that there are various sources of information which can be categorized as documentary and non-documentary sources of information. In documentary sources of information, we have different documents which provide information like books, journals, theses and dissertations, conference volumes, newspapers, magazines, and so on and so forth. In non-documentary sources of information, we have humans who are sources of information. And in this category itself, there are professionals, there are humans who are directly involved in the activities related to information. Like there are information professionals who work in libraries, who prepare abstracts, they are known as abstractors. Then there are compilers who compile information from different sources of information, from different sources. And then we have condensers who read and then condense the information into shorter versions which are readable in less time. So today we will be talking about NGOs as sources of information. And this presentation will cover what is an NGO, what does it do, how is it important as a source of information, and this presentation will also spotlight some examples of NGO. NGO stands for Non-Governmental Organization. It is an independent, voluntary association of people acting together on a continuous basis for some common purpose other than achieving government office, making money, or illegal activities. That means it is a group where people get together to work for some common cause, for some common purpose. The group of people is not interested in achieving or holding any government office. They are not interested in making money, or they are not engaged in any kind of illegal activity. Further, it is important for all viewers to know that an NGO is legally constituted and operates independently from any government. Thus, it does not have any government status. Some NGOs are funded totally or partially by governments, and such NGOs maintain their non-governmental status by excluding government representatives from membership in the organization. This is very important. It means that government officials, government employees cannot become members of any NGO. They cannot take a membership of any NGO. NGOs pursue some wider social aim that has political aspects, but that are not political organizations such as political parties. So it's important to know that NGOs pursue some social aim. Of course, that social aim has some political aspects too, but then NGOs are certainly not political parties. NGOs are also known as civil society organization or non-profit organizations. Then what is the Central Social Welfare Board? How this concept of, or how did the NGOs come into existence? The Central Social Welfare Board was established in 1953 by a resolution of Government of India to carry out welfare activities for promoting volunteerism, providing technical and financial assistance to the voluntary organizations for the general welfare of family, women and children. This was the first effort on the part of Government of India to set up an organization which would work on the principle of volunteerism as a non-governmental organization. The objective of setting up Central Social Welfare Board was to work as a link between the government and the people. So important, I underline, objective of setting up Central Social Welfare Board was to work as a link between the government and the people. The state social welfare boards were set up in 1954 in all states and union territories. The objective for setting up state social boards was to coordinate welfare and developmental activities undertaken by the various departments of the state governments to promote voluntary social welfare agencies for the extension of welfare services across the country, especially in uncovered areas. The major schemes being implemented by Central Social Welfare Board were providing comprehensive services in an integrated manner to the whole community. So basically the work of NGOs is characterized by the NGOs strive to work at grassroots level. They strive to bring desired changes and they work at grassroots levels. And their work, their responsibility also involves advocating at various levels, speaking for the people who are not capable enough to speak for themselves, to advocate their cause. And then it is mobilization of the marginalized, mobilization of the class which is at some disadvantage. Then these NGOs, for their functioning, they depend on individual donations, foreign funding and aid from different government agencies and private donors. Their work helps rid society of prejudices, corruption, illiteracy, poverty and many other ills. And these NGOs, in their functioning, in the process of their working, in the process of their functioning, produce lot of information material. So this slide focuses on information materials which NGOs produce in the process of their functioning, in the process of their working. All NGOs, irrespective of their areas of work, create information materials which range from simple brochures to elaborate reports. With many NGOs receiving grants from funding agencies for executing projects, the NGOs have to prepare projects reports, which are a valuable source of primary information. All NGOs bring out one or the other information product, including directories, yearbooks, proceedings, etc. That means NGOs, they undertake projects, they undertake projects for the welfare of children, for the welfare of the disadvantaged groups of the society. And when they undertake any project, they execute their project and then they prepare a report of what they have undertaken, what they have achieved, what they have not been able to achieve. All these information is compiled and kept as project report. And so project report becomes a primary source of information. And then besides projects reports, then there are other information products which NGOs publish, and they are directories, yearbooks, proceedings and so on and so forth. So what do NGOs produce in the process of their work while they are undertaking projects, while they are accomplishing projects? They create information materials. They may be simple brochures, they may be reports, prepare reports which are a valuable source of information, then other information products which NGOs may produce, their directories, proceedings, bulletins, newsletters and so on and so forth. And all these newsletters or bulletins or proceedings, they spotlight the activities, they spotlight the projects which they undertake, they spotlight the accomplishments of the NGOs, their goals, whether they were able to fulfill their goals, whether they were able to achieve their goals or not. So all these details are prepared in reports, or all these details are reported through newsletters or bulletins. Then there is an example of NGO which is Child Rights in You. What does it do? It works towards ensuring a happier childhood for all children. It was started in 1979 by Mr. Ripen Kapoor, and it aims at a happy, healthy and creative child. Society should provide dignity, justice and equity for all. It focuses on free and quality education, primary health care, and it advocates that children should be free from violence, abuse, and exploitation. Child Rights in You, it functions in 19 states of the country. So what are its activities? What are the different activities which this NGO undertakes? It identifies the violation or problem and work with communities to demand accountability from the government. Then Child Rights in You partners with other NGOs by providing them with funds. It monitors the projects. It also undertakes capacity building for addressing issues which affect children and their families. Then the NGO holds awareness sessions, workshops, training to make the public, to make the masses aware of their entitlements from government. It sensitizes people to issues, to challenges which affect children. Then this NGO also generates funds and resources, voice, terms, skills from individuals or through institutional partnerships. Then if you visit their website, it provides a lot of information of all the projects, of all the activities which it undertakes. For example, information, if you visit its website, you will find information about child rights, about statistics on children in India. For example, its website states that this NGO has been working towards creating happier and healthier childhoods for the last 40 years. And it says that it has impacted over 3 million children in India. It further states that out of 472 million children in India today, many are still unable to go to school, do not get proper nutrition or health care, and are vulnerable to abuse and exploitation. So if anyone, as a researcher, is working in the field of various issues related to children and wants figures and data related to children, then this site can be visited. Then Child Rights in You, it shows what it do in 2019 and 20. For example, it says more than 6 lakhs children were impacted. Then it contributed to the education of more than 1 lakh children between the ages of 6 to 18. And then more than 2,000 children in CRY projects were rescued from child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking. This is how it affects, how it contributes to the issues, how it addresses to the challenges which children face in India. Then the website tells that 88% children in CRY projects under the age of 5 years are free from malnutrition. And then children in CRY projects under the age of 1 year have been immunized. Then another NGO is Center for Science Environment. It is a public interest research and advocacy organization. It lobbies for and communicates the urgency which is sustainable and equitable. So what does it do? It is an NGO, and it is known as Center for Science Environment. It advocates, it supports, it speaks for causes, for issues which are very essential for the society, and it lobbies, it communicates, it underlines the urgency of things which should be sustainable and equitable. How does it provide information? It publishes periodicals, it makes films, short spots, briefing papers, it holds exhibitions, posters, and other products it provides, and through these products it communicates. It tries to make a difference by providing information, research-based information. And its research and advocacy efforts are to create awareness of proper sustainable solutions to the challenges which humankind faces. Then it imparts education and training in non-formal environment education programs. Then this NGO has its knowledge portal, through it communicates its various types of information. Then Down to Earth is one of the periodicals which it publishes. CSE researches the underlying processes of change and events and pushes for sustainable policies in the area of natural resource management. Through its international product, CSE has provided advanced warnings, perceptive analysis and intellectual leadership in the field of environmental management and help to build an informed public opinion. That by providing information, by advocating for the right sustainable solutions for the challenges which mankind or which the society faces, it helps to build an informed public opinion. And Down to Earth is one of the periodicals or one of the magazines which it publishes. Down to Earth, the magazine that this NGO CSE produces in partnership with its sister organization, the Society for Environmental Communication, is an established medium or is an established magazine. As you can see on the website, Down to Earth, this is the magazine, and through this interface you can search by country, by name, advanced search, and so on and so forth. Then this is their website, CSE website. It is an effective campaigning tool, as the website mentions, which allows campaigners to reach thousands of people instantly. Every month about 1,000 people fill in online feedback forms for more information. And then this website is also available in Hindi, as the website mentions, as the information is there on the screen. The feature service is also quite successful, and CSE has recently started an additional version in Hindi to extend the reach to regional areas. And further it mentions, CSE has thus been reasonably successful in getting information out to people, and it reflects the need for this task of providing information to bring change. And then how does it do that? CSE's reportage involves reaching the underlying process of change and events and pushes for sustainable policies in the area of natural resource management. And then CSE Center for Science and Environment, it has its knowledge portal, its website mentions that it is the developer and manager of the Indian Environmental Portal, a one-stop shop for information and knowledge on environment and development issues. That this knowledge portal provides exhaustive information pertaining to environment and developmental issues. And all the information is related to environment and development. It is aimed at developing an open, networked and informed society which can use knowledge to make change. Then it publishes various e-books too. For example, it has brought out various books which focus on state of, for example, the first one, as you can see on the screen, is State of India's Environment 2021. Then COVID-19, A New World Disorder, it's an e-book. Then Environment and Climate Change Activity, State of India's Environment 2020. And so this is how it provides information, by publishing periodicals. This is what the presentation focuses upon, or says that this is how NGOs provide information. They collect, they compile information, then they spread information, they disseminate information through periodicals, through e-books, through their websites, through the knowledge portal which they maintain. And these are some of the reports which it has prepared and provided, and these reports are available on the website. Then there is another NGO which is known as Darpan. It is a platform which provides space for interface between voluntary organizations, NGOs and key ministries and departments, government bodies. It's a free facility which is offered by Niti Aayog with NIC to bring greater partnership between government and voluntary sector, foster better transparency, efficiency and accountability. And this is NGO Darpan. It is an initiative of PM Office to create and promote a healthy partnership between voluntary organizations and NGOs of Government of India. As you can see, this is the homepage of Darpan, And the website mentions the NGO Darpan is a platform that provides space for interface between voluntary organizations, NGO, and key government ministries and departments. This is a free facility offered by Niti Aayog. And this portal is being managed by Niti Aayog at present. So, and it's very important for all the viewers to know that if you want to find out what are the different NGOs functioning in states or in different sectors, you can visit this website and find it out through NGO directory. You can search for a particular NGO by particular state or district or sector and find out what are the NGOs, different kinds of NGOs functioning in different areas. Then this is another NGO, Saksham Trust, and you can visit its website saksham.org. It was founded in 2003 and it has its branches in Delhi, Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. It is a school in Noida for children with visual impairment and multiple disabilities. What is its mission? Mission of Saksham is to empower communities by creating multiple opportunities and platforms for visually impaired persons for their sustainable and social upliftment. Because children with or adults with different disabilities, even they can be significant contributors in the development of the country. Its vision is to develop a sensitized and motivated society which acknowledges the value of interdependence and appreciates the abilities of persons with disabilities and willingly provides equal opportunities for all. That means it aims at building a society which understands that people with disabilities also have the potential, also have the ability to contribute significantly to the society, and the society should provide equitable opportunities for all, and this is what Saksham aims at building or aims at developing. Then its website, it mentions that what are the areas in which they work to develop an equitable society, to develop proper opportunities, to develop equal opportunities for children, for adults with disabilities. First one is inclusive education. Saksham School Noida provides quality education and rehabilitation services for children with visual and multiple disabilities. Then Saksham Digital Library, it strives to provide accessible books, and it says accessible books produced and distributed by Saksham Library can be read by persons with sight loss themselves. Accessible format, that means it provides books in accessible format. It means that books should be available in such a format that even people with visual impairment, even students with visual impairment should be able to read the books. And what is its importance? This opens the world of fiction and non-fiction literature, textbooks and competitive examination preparation material to persons who can read them. Then what does the other activities which it undertakes? Audio description of movies and cultural rights. Then it provides training in the use of assistive technologies. Then it provides very useful apps which are listed on the screen, as you can see. So in this presentation we have talked about various NGOs, their activities, and how these NGOs, they serve as sources of information. What are the different kinds of activities which they undertake, and how do they communicate, how do they disseminate, how do they advocate for the right causes, for the causes of the marginalized people of the society, by holding training programs, by publishing, by bringing out publications, by publishing journals and books, reports, and through these journals, reports and books, they try to sensitize, they try to spread awareness among the people of the society. Then NGOs are an important source of information, and they meet the information requirements of different types of information seekers. And so it's important, while the documentary sources are valuable, the NGOs are a vital non-documentary sources of information. And this presentation has also highlighted various examples of NGOs and different activities which they undertake, different projects which they undertake, and different products they publish, like journals, periodicals, e-books, technical reports, projects reports, in order to spread awareness. I hope you have benefited from this presentation. Thank you very much. Namaskar.